Hello, and welcome to your favorite podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. As usual, I'm your host, your fourth or fifth favorite podcaster, Kevin, and I have three amazing gentlemen with me here today. Mike, go ahead and say hi.
Hey, everybody.
Patrick is with us.
Hello.
And then we have a special guest host today, Tyler.
Hello.
That was on point. That was awesome.
Sweet.
We are missing Johnny again today. We haven't gotten any specific word why today, but we did get a few weeks ago that he'll be out for a few weeks. He's got a busy life right now. Good things though. It's good things. So and I hope he'll be back soon.
Yep.
You know, this is something I want to talk about a few weeks ago. It might not. I guess it's kind of still topical, but I keep making the fourth, fifth favorite podcaster reference, and I'm moving up the ladder though because I guess Joe Rogan's on his way out.
Ha!
I've listened to more Joe Rogan over the last 2 weeks than I ever have before.
Yeah, no, I would actually say that too. But you know, who knows how this is going to end up? But they're all over him, so that's why I'm just going to take
Dumb people are all over him.
the fourth. Right, no, the fourth favorite podcaster spot. I'm just going to move into that. So I guess no, now I'm still fourth or fifth actually.
Oh, you're second.
I said fifth or sixth before, so yeah, now I'm fourth or fifth. So I did it right. So just moving myself up the ladder there. Anyway, so that's all I had to say about that.
We'll just a poll or something.
Huh? Oh yeah, I should put that in the poll. That's a good idea.
Are you sure you want to?
Huh?
Go ahead. Continue.
I don't know if I want to. Actually, that's a good point. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today to kind of call Mike out is the Book of Boba Fett episode 6. So Mike, you on top of that or what? You all caught up? What?
I'm not all caught up, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. What have you watched since the last time we talked about it?
Episode 2.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm going to do for next week?
There's only 4 episodes of Book of Boba Fett, Uncle Mikey.
There's 4 more left.
No, there's only 4.
No, there's
4
there's
episodes.
5. There's 5. There's 5.
No, there's like 6 or 7 episodes.
But 2.
You'll get what I mean when you finish watching.
Yeah, he's being funny. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. There's 4 episodes of Book of Boba Fett, and then
There's 5.
Like 2
5
episodes of.
No, he was a guest feature in that 5th episode.
Okay.
No, but there's 5. There's 7 episodes.
I say
2 of them.
4 issues of the Book of Boba Fett, 2 episodes, special episodes of The Mandalorian, then a special crossover event.
Right. In my defense, I watched the first season of Reacher with my wife. We've spent.
That's not a defense.
That sounds not as cool as Book of Boba Fett.
Reacher's awesome.
Yeah, but you should. Here's what you should do. You should say, "Hey, honey, I've made a commitment, and I promised everyone I'd get the Book of Boba Fett watched. Can you watch that with me tonight?" That's what you should do.
Yeah.
I know she's listening right now too, so I'm gonna be like, Emily, come on.
Reacher was really good. It's also my mindset. I was really in the mood for, a crime.
But we're 3 weeks in since you promised.
There's a lot of crime in Book of Boba Fett.
We're 3 weeks in since you promised you'd watch him, Mike.
I know.
I'm dogging you now.
Hey, I have notes for episode 2.
Okay.
They're not a lot of notes.
This is what I'm going to do next week, and this is a promise, and I'm going to live up to it.
You're going to mute my mic if I say I'm on episode 3?
No. I'm going to isolate the audio of you saying, and before we get into the next episode of the Book of Boba Fett, I'm going to isolate the audio of you promising before the next episode of the podcast that you would have all of the Book of Boba Fett episode watched.
Okay.
And so I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I almost want to not watch it so I get to hear that.
No, I'm going to play it as the intro to our discussion.
Oh, I got you.
And then you can say, I finally did. You
I
know,
did it.
It'll be a deliverance moment for you.
Yeah.
You know?
And I fully intended to watch it.
Right, yeah. That's the thing about broken promises. People usually intend to do them. They don't intend to break the promise, but following through is anyway, enough beating up Mike.
Right.
But this week we can talk about episode 6, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna mute my own mic for a minute then. Self-isolation.
So Tyler, I don't know. Of course, you should have listened to last week's podcast. You should have watched the live stream in its entirety. I don't know exactly if you did or not. I'm not saying whether you did or didn't, but
hopefully you didn't promise that you would. But go ahead.
We decided, as far as TV shows are concerned, there's a 2-week, time frame of holding off on any spoilers. So that's why we're talking about episode 6 now, because it's been 2 weeks, right? Yeah. So
fair.
Episode 6. Episode 6 made. I'll start. Episode 6 made me more angry than episode 5, and here's why. Because obviously Boba Fett still, for all intents and purposes, wasn't in it. But they even made it worse for me in the way that you got to see. It's like episode 5. We're not even going to have Boba Fett in there. But episode 6, check it out. Here's Boba Fett. But we're not even going to give him a speaking line. You just get to look at him for 10 seconds. So we get to rub it in our face that he's not in his own episode. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to make matters worse for me, when you saw him, it was what's her face? What's her name? Huh?
Fennec?
Yeah, Fennec was given this, whole big grand plan, speech of how this is all going to work. In my opinion, that should have been Boba Fett's speech anyway.
I agree.
He was in the scene. So why didn't they just have Boba Fett literally say what Fennec would have said? It still would have only been...
He's the leader.
Yeah, it still would have only been 15 seconds or whatever. But...
Right. No, I'm on the same page.
That's a nice graphic Jesse just put up. Anyway. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, Patrick? Do you agree with that? I know you're probably as big of a fan of this as me. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, they should have just advertised this as a 4-episode Boba Fett. Mandalorian season 2.5, and then special crossover event to wrap things up.
Gotcha. But do you agree?
It's all centralized around Boba Fett's issue, like storyline, though.
Correct.
But as far as what I'm talking about specifically, how they kind of made it worse with actually having him for 10 seconds, but not giving him speaking dialogue during a period of time where someone else was speaking, but it could have been his dialogue anyway. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. And it only got worse next episode, I think.
Yeah. And then just to kind of rehash the same bad parts of the previous episode. I mean, it was a great episode in large, I think, which makes it worse for me because I would enjoy that episode so much more if it were like you were saying in the Mandalorian. I would have liked it more because I wouldn't have been distracted by the fact that I'm so irritated that it isn't about Boba Fett, so. And I like Fennec a lot too, so this really isn't a complaint about Fennec. She's a great character. But giving her those speaking lines when she's not the leader while Boba Fett's in the room and he's not speaking and he's in no other part of it. I'm repeating myself in different ways, but so. And since you haven't talked about it at all, Tyler, obviously we know that you're 100% on board with the annoyance of it, but did you want to, add on or elaborate any of that, confirm for the millions of viewers, watchers, listeners, whatever?
I was thinking I needed to watch the speech again to find any specific reasons why she would say it over Boba Fett.
Okay.
Maybe she gave some sort of piece of information that she's more familiar with.
Well, I actually replayed it right after she said it to confirm just that.
And Boba Fett could have just said it.
But it could have been Boba Fett the entire time.
I was thinking that while watching it. So.
I mean, there would have to be an inversion with like when she's like saying, and I'm, you know, if it would have been him saying it, he would have just said, and Fennec. You know what I'm saying? So there could have been some change in, you know, the exact words used, but you know, but in essence, yeah, there's no reason. Yeah. So,
yeah.
So anyway, Mike, see what you're missing?
I do.
The part I want you to focus on, Mike, as far as watching the episodes are concerned, though, is it was an amazing episode.
Right.
So, again, you know, I don't know why I'm still resistant to spoilers, but that was what I was going to say next is what made this episode so great is it not only was just about the Mandalorian. We got a cameo with Ahsoka. We got a cameo with Grogu and Luke. It was a great episode. I actually think I liked 6 better than 5. What do you think, Patrick?
Yeah, there was a lot there packed into that episode. Yeah, and I enjoyed where they went with it, but and I do want to especially comment on the special effects for Luke. I think they were much improved over the Mandalorian episode.
Yeah, I agree too. Jessie was actually commenting on that a lot. How she's like, how is that not just literally him? It just looked so good. Yeah.
His voice, the dialogue seems a little stilted. I'm not exactly sure how they're doing that, but it's not too big of a distraction. But as far as the visuals go, I think they pretty much nailed it.
Yeah. And then the only other thing regarding Luke specifically, I kind of resented the fact of Grogu's ultimatum. I was like, come on, why? Obviously we have Anakin and Padme, and then obviously Luke said, to Yoda, I'm out of here. Yoda's like, don't go. You're not done with your training. And I'm out of here. And he's going to go save his boys, and girls, whatever.
Yeah.
But then now Grogu, he's got this ultimatum in front of him at the ripe young old age or whatever back of 50. He's got to make this choice here. He can't,
Why can't he train and wear the armor?
Right. Exactly. And you can get into some convoluted Jedi way speech about it, but literally like the history of Star Wars regarding, at least live action, of course, regarding the Jedi way seems to have become kind of a crapshoot, for any individual Jedi,
Yeah, this was sort of a fresh start for Luke. You would think he would have learned from past mistakes.
Yeah.
And having no attachments thing. I'm not even sure how Luke even knew about that. He started really digging into the journals, the Jedi journal.
Right.
We later find out he has. But yeah, it was sort of a harsh move from Mr. Skywalker.
Yeah, and him especially, like you're saying, him having his history makes it even more of a what kind of situation. And then the last thing I was thinking too is, again, looking at the past of Star Wars, you can obviously be both in the way that you can not really have the commitments, but as far as like moments in your life, you can just visit somebody, but not have that. Even if you're trying to stick to you can only be committed to the Jedi way. You obviously can still have these moments of a visit. I mean, it was like they didn't even want Mandalorian to come visit him because it was going to make it tougher for him or whatever. I thought I actually... Right. I didn't care for that.
I think because he's away from the Mandalorian, having the armor would give him more motivation to train as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Because it's not like Grogu said he wanted to leave or train. He just wanted that while he was doing it. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. But as we're complaining about these nitpicky points too, but still overall, I mean, it was still cool.
Yeah.
Seeing the armor, or it's would you even call it armor? I mean, is it technically
Chain
armor?
link.
A chain link shirt, I don't know if you really call it armor, but seeing that, when they were kind of intentionally keeping that as a secret from us in a little bag or whatever, that was cool in general as well, so. But it was definitely fun, and having the whole kind of adventure that Luke's going through with Grogu, kind of flashbacking, Yoda and Luke, it was all still great, overall. That's the toughest part for me is critiquing and criticizing Star Wars in general. I guess this is one of those times I'm glad Johnny's not here, because he would be totally ribbing me about how what I'm thinking is stupid. And then I gotta, and then I can't even critique what I love, because then he'll make it seem worse than it is, but, so I feel like I have to keep interjecting, I love this. This is awesome. I really appreciate it, but here's my issues,
Yeah.
So.
Johnny would be talking me out of watching it.
Right. Probably. I wonder if when they come out with like a box set or whatever of this, they're going to lay it out differently in the,
I thought about that. Disney is not putting out a lot of their stuff on home media, so I don't know if that's even matters at this point. But you're right. I don't know how they would divvy it up into a home video release. So
yeah, that's true. That's kind of going the way of the dodo. So, but it would be interesting, how they kind of changed the past. Obviously, with the first big example being. When I talk to people about Star Wars, I'm literally, most of the time I'm talking, although I've been trained because it's been different for a long time, I'm just talking about Star Wars, like episode 4, but, oh, you mean the New Hope? And it's like, no, that's Star Wars. I'm talking, not Empire Strikes Back, that they kind of, the revisionist way they change the past, whatever. So, but anyway, overall, I thought it was good. Same complaints. And then I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to talk about episode 7 next week. So Mike, seriously, I'm giving you a hard time, but you got to I don't want to, as your friend, I don't want to ruin episode 7 for you.
All right. Let me call off work tomorrow. Let me get the boss on the phone.
Well, you said, did you finish episode 2?
Yes.
Okay. So you got 5 episodes. Monday. You're already off work tomorrow. Aren't you off work tomorrow because of President's Day anyway?
No, we work.
Oh, that sucks.
We don't care about presidents, I guess.
After work or evening before you go to bed. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And if any of those miss, you got Saturday.
Saturday it can double header.
Yeah, exactly. So you got plenty.
I'm going to cram them all in on Saturday.
Which is fine with me too. But seriously, I'm pleading with you because I don't want to ruin episode 7 for you.
Yeah, unless Reacher season 2 comes out, but before then, I'm kidding. Look at you. I'm kidding. It's not. It just came out in February, I think. It's not coming out.
Did you binge the whole season of Reacher?
Yes. I missed the first episode because I got home from work late Friday, and Emily had already watched it, but I kind of just got caught up.
So we know he has binging powers.
Who's saying that? I can't see. Who is that? A penguin super? Oh, there. It's Tyler. What'd you say?
I said so we know he has binging powers.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
I do like a good binge, but
he has the ability to binge. Right.
I'm just closing my camera because I'm eating. I don't know if anyone wanted to watch that.
That's good. No, I was just giving you a hard time because no, we don't want to watch that. Put the picture up. That's
hey, if you're gonna eat, I have a half a sub in there.
Hey, this kind of puts me in mind with something else I wanted to mention to the listeners too. Is there was actually a crawl through last week. Obviously, there was a live. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. It was a live stream. So if you caught the live stream, obviously that was good. But I'm still planning on putting up the audio for that live stream podcast as well. But I did the whole, and I'm not putting this on you, Patrick, but you're the only one that kind of made the comment. You're like, set it and forget it. I did that thing like 3 times and it just didn't work out for miscellaneous reasons. So that's why the podcast for the crawl through isn't up yet. So basically when today's live stream is done, I'm going to do the audio for the crawl through first and get that up. Because then that's the other thing in our podcast provider. it kind of puts it in the order I put it up. So I have to put up the live stream for the midweek crawl or the podcast for the midweek crawl through up first, or it'll be out of order. We actually have one episode 3, that's kind of that way because I didn't put up episode 3 until like after episode 7, anyway. So I just wanted to let everyone know that, it actually exists. It's just not up yet, which, and talking about Reacher and Boba Fett and everything, the next thing I wanted to kind of make a regular thing every week is what'd you watch this week? Obviously, Mike watched Reacher.
Yes.
Sucked you into that too. Anyway, I meant to ask you: is it just like the ads on Amazon Prime that got you, or what?
Well, no.
That's on Amazon Prime, right? I'm not saying that right.
Yes. Yeah. Well, my mother-in-law has read all the books. Emily's read a couple of the books. My brother-in-law's read the books. So the books are big in the family. And I think Tom Cruise has done a couple movies. And nobody was real happy with him playing that character. I've never read the books before, and I have heard he doesn't resemble the character at all. Now this new series, the guy's a monster.
Yeah.
And so he fits the character better, and it's just better done. And Emily was watching it when I got home from work Friday night, and I just jumped right in.
Okay. I actually like the Reacher movies. I don't know anything about the book, so I didn't know how he was supposed to look or anything. And I definitely liked the first one better than the second one, but they were okay.
Yeah, and that might be why you like it. You haven't read the novels, so
right.
It's kind of like the I Am Legend thing.
Yeah.
I always go back to that.
Right.
How's that coming, Tyler?
I am. I've looked at the cover a few times.
Tyler, don't give Uncle Mikey any ammunition.
Yeah.
With which not to watch the Book of Boba Fett by giving you a hard time. But I haven't read I Am Legend yet.
It's only 160 pages. Oh, look at that! You actually have it right there with you.
Yeah.
Good.
It's actually the shortest book of all time, but you're literally borrowing Uncle Mikey's copy to read it.
It adds that it's now a major motion picture, so I went and watched the movie first.
Oh,
it's supposed to be the opposite.
Don't get me started. There are actually rumors that they're going to be working on a series for it.
I've also got both my Dave Grohls here.
I don't know if you know about that, Patrick, but he got multi-gifted. He actually got a third one too. He got multi-gifted that book 3 times. And so
he's a huge fan.
Huh?
He's a huge fan.
Yeah. But the 2 you have is one for me and one for Mike, right, Ty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I am getting it for Christmas as well.
So. Max bought me that one anyways because he thought it'd be funny. So.
Hey, I think we've talked about this before, Patrick, too, but what did you think about I Am Legend, Patrick? Did you like the movie?
I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
What?
That'll do you. That's enough.
It's a great movie. Don't talk to Mikey about it, though.
Don't make me mute you, Tyler.
I love that movie. I love that movie so much. Like, I watch that movie at least a couple times every year. I like it so much. I'm a big Will Smith fan. That's obviously for starters for me, but yeah, that was great. But Ty, you need to get on that book too because I want to borrow it next. Okay. Now that I'm reading books, I'm
just hoping that when I finish the book, after the last word I read, I'm like, man, that movie sucked.
You'll be able to
seriously. The last sentence in the book is just phenomenal.
I'm about to go read it right now.
The last sentence.
All right, so so I wanted to say that when you told me that Reacher was great last night, Mike, I had already had it's already on my list to watch, and it's probably going to be real soon because it does look really good, and now especially since you've told me. But the reason it was on my radar is because of what I suggested. The same reason it was on yours is because of the trailers. Because I've been on Amazon Prime watching. Help me out, huh? No. The Circle of Time.
Wheel of Time.
The Wheel of Time. That's it. Yeah. I've been watching The Wheel of Time. Has anybody else has seen that or watched it or anything?
What's that?
The Wheel of Time on Prime.
Well, what is it?
Oh. It's like this fantasy. It's kind of set in in a fantasy kind of medieval, I guess, time frame, where like it kind of sets it up kind of a Lord of the Ring thing. It talks about this huge past event that happened first, where this super powerful wizard went bad, and then he killed all the other wizards. And I can't remember, man. I suck at this kind of explanation thing. There's like a dark power, but now this dark power is kind of reviving itself later. The same dark power that destroyed the world like 1,000 years ago or whatever. And there's the dragon. This is a wizard that's called the Dragon. That is, I guess, supposed to save the universe. Save this world. And basically where I am in the show is the most powerful magic users in the world. And there's this whole kind of sexist theme with it too, where women can be the only ones to wield magic. And I'm not just saying that as my opinion. Like they actually talk about like it's a problem in the show with some people who are like, oh no, not just women can use it, and then the powerful women are like, oh no, men shouldn't be using this. It's like literally part of the plot, and they're looking for this person that's going to grow to be the dragon, to be able to save the world when the Dark One completely revives or whatever, something like that. That's kind of so it's right up my alley as far as kind of stories I enjoy. And it's it's fine. It hasn't blown me away yet, but I'm enjoying it enough to keep watching. Every time I boot up Prime right now, I'm checking it out. Chelsea said Valor's read. She's referring to the Wheel of Time. Patrick,
I believe so.
Yeah.
How far are you in Bad Batch?
Not good. Yeah, 4 episodes maybe. And my only, I know. My only defense there is I'm not the clone guy. You are.
Your favorite movie is Attack of the Clones.
That doesn't have to do with me being a clone guy.
Come on, it kind of does.
Attack of the Clones is my favorite movie, not because of the clones, but because of Django, experiencing Django and Obi-Wan fighting each other. Experiencing Yoda, we get to see him being a total bad butt, experiencing multiple Jedi in one fight. That whole series of events is why Attack of the Clones is my favorite. Okay. And I don't know. It looks like we might have lost a couple 100,000 listeners right there when I said that, because everybody thinks Attack of the Clones is so horrible. But do you say that's your favorite one too, Ty?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So at least that's the camaraderie, that one of the many things we agree on is that Attack of the Clones is the best prequel, and it's consistently at the bottom of the list as far as
it's just standards. Barely above Revenge of the Sith for me.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith is my favorite one.
What do you
talking about prequels though, right? We're just talking about prequels.
We're just talking about prequels, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just saying that like it's my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, Rogue One's my favorite out of all of them.
I love Rogue One. That's my favorite too.
I always say Star Wars is my favorite because it's the OG, but if I have to pick,
that's your only reason though.
I mean, how can you take that away from it? I mean,
can't take it away from it, but if it's only your favorite because it was the first, it doesn't mean it's the best movie.
Okay, well, it's my favorite because it's excellent, and it edges over Rogue One for me because it's the OG.
Technically, Rogue One's the OG.
Does anybody refer to Star Wars as A New Hope? Like you were saying, you always refer to a Star Wars, and so do I. If I say you want to watch Star Wars, I'm talking about that movie in particular.
I think that's gone by the wayside.
Yeah, so now people say
So many Star Wars content and shows and movies, and
They just always say A New Hope.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It
So,
sounds ridiculous to me.
anyway, that's the only edge. That's the way I should state it. That's the only edge I give it over Rogue One is because it's the OG. But all the other reasons is still why I love it.
Mhm.
What about you, Patrick?
Favorite?
2 questions. Attack the Clones feelings first.
It's a
We
good
can
thing
take
Johnny's not
we
here.
can take however you feel. Did you hate it?
Prequels 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
Episode
not
1
a big
is
fan of.
well. I'm
episode
happy
2.
that episode
I
1
mean,
is
in
after
the overall scheme of things,
episode
I
2.
like it.
I'm happy about that.
I'm not happy with it.
Episode 1 obviously has its pluses. We're big prequel lovers in general too. So. But anyway, and then your favorite Star Wars of all.
I always defaulted to Empire, but I'm kind of starting to lean your way, Kevin, where episode 4, maybe.
Okay. So anyway, kind of Ty pulled away from the Wheel of Time for me. So no one else has watched any of that, right?
No.
Okay.
No one in this room.
All right, Mike's Reacher. What are you watching then, Pat?
Not much of anything. I don't think I finally watched the first episode of Lois and Clark, or Superman and Lois last night.
Okay.
I
And
kind of got 4 stacked up there. It was good. Yeah.
okay.
It's my favorite CW show by far currently. That's not saying much.
Right. That's what I was So it's just currently 2. What's your favorite CW show of all CW shows ever?
Well,
That's
it was The Flash, but The Flash has taken a horrible nosedive.
Oh, really?
I hear nothing but bad things about that. And I've watched a little bit of it, and I kind of see the cringiness. I don't really enjoy it.
What about Arrow? Is that number 2 for you?
I didn't get on the ground floor of Arrow. I've watched like the crossover episodes and things, but yeah, I never went back and tried to catch up from the beginning.
Okay. And what are you watching right now, Ty, besides for hockey?
I've been interchangeably watching Bad Batch and The Startup.
The what?
The Startup on Netflix.
What's that?
It's kind of an Ozarky show about cryptocurrency.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
Ozark
there's
is
a lot
on
of
it.
illegal money movements type of show.
So it's total drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Girl's trying to make a new coin, and then it's she gets the business rolling. They're meeting with new head honcho people, kind of like there's a guy in the show that's kind of the equivalent of Elon, and he grabs her cryptocurrency, but then he steals it from her, and then that's kind of how it really rolls. But so now they're trying to get him back. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
So you wouldn't like it if you didn't like Ozark because it's somewhat similar.
Jesse's favorite is Smallville.
Oh, Smallville was great.
Yeah. Do we all agree Smallville was great, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I love Smallville.
I'm not seeing Patrick agree. What's up, Pat?
No, I mean, I liked it. It certainly, I think it outlived its welcome, outstayed its welcome.
That's a good way to put it, I think. Yeah. The
Yeah.
later ones kind of took it from me a little bit. Yeah. I agree. So, talking about the future of things to watch, the Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness dropped this week. Has everybody seen it?
Yeah.
Mike? Ty?
No, of course I'm gonna be the one to not have seen it.
You can always be that guy. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's my thing.
That's your stick. Ty, have you seen it?
Seen what?
The trailer for the Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness?
Yes, I have.
Looks pretty sick. You owe me a beer. But
Got
yeah,
one
I thought-
icy left.
Bring it over. Like literally, please bring it over.
All right.
I thought it was pretty sick.
Make a stream for 5 hours, and then I would pop out the other door.
That'd be awesome. I'd be so happy. I'd probably cry like a little girl. I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too.
Oh, Ty's in PA. If anybody, Ty is also in PA. Patrick and Ty are like 5 minutes from me. No, I'm just kidding. You're like, what are you, like 45 minutes away from each other?
Oh, yeah, what, you're in Butler?
Yeah. Anyway, so here we are, Patrick, the only two that are up on the comic culture of
Tyler watched it.
huh?
Tyler said he saw it.
What?
Dr.
Oh, you
Strange
said you
did.
saw it. Okay, yeah, you said it was sick. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Sorry,
walk
my
away
old
now.
age. Yeah, I'm just going there again. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so anybody got anything to say about it besides for it's sick?
It's
I
cool.
saw one screen capture. It seemed like there were some mystery character. People were, all the speculators are trying to guess who it was going to be so they can go buy those cheap books.
Yeah.
So that's all I know.
I haven't seen the preview in a few weeks, so I'd have to watch it again.
A few weeks. It just came out like 4 days ago.
Oh, then I saw another one.
You saw it. There was a teaser.
Apparently, I didn't see this one.
Okay, so you haven't. Okay, so we're back at no one's seen it except me or you.
But I saw it
You saw the teaser.
this Sunday. Apparently, I watched it after the Super Bowl.
Apparently.
My girlfriend's informing me. I don't remember.
You can tell he's my son. It's totally
I'm
something.
gonna mute myself. I'm gonna watch it right
No,
now.
this.
Okay. Patrick.
I'm so forgetful that
Yeah.
this Saturday was her friend's birthday party, and Sunday was the plan for this, and the rest of the day with you. And then Friday night, while I was packing up to go to her house, I asked her if we had any plans on Saturday because I wanted to do homework and chill. So that's how forgetful I am. And then she said she was going to drive us up with her car and bring us back. And I'm like, you're going to come back on Sunday? Why are we taking your car? Yeah, I forgot about what we were doing.
Is she accepting of this forgetful nature of yours?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I like her even more now.
She says she's going to make me a calendar and tape it to my forehead.
You're gonna forget to look in the mirror.
I'm going to look up and be like, what is this on my head?
Yeah. It's gonna be one of those people looking for glasses while they're on their forehead situations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Patrick. I want to hear your feedback of the trailer. You got any?
I didn't think it really showed a lot more. Obviously, there was I think the biggest thing that came out of it was the mystery voice, which, I think most people could tell who that was. So we're in for a crossover with
Who was it?
Well, it sounds to me like it's Jean-Luc Picard.
Okay.
So we're going to finally have that Star Trek crossover with the Marvel universe.
Yeah. Did you catch that, Tyler?
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, I hope that's the way it goes. That's for sure. I want to see what Marvel, the MCU can do with the X-Men. Are you excited about that too, Pat?
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is I hope they don't pull another WandaVision move where he's playing a different character.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like with Quicksilver, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How they made it. Tyler, did you see WandaVision?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the dual actor with the same guy.
Yeah.
Same character.
Except they made the actor from the X-Men universe
Right.
play the Quicksilver from the MCU.
Right.
That totally just rocked the boat. Yeah. And speaking of bringing up WandaVision, I think that was my biggest takeaway was obviously the connection of, what it seems WandaVision will be, and of course Loki, and then the what if episodes all kind of correlating in this trailer too, right? That's what I got from it too, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of Spider-Man too.
Yeah. So it's, this is one of those situations. Not that this isn't probably every movie situation that it can either be a total piece of trash or it could be epic. So we'll see.
Yeah, it does look really good. I can't imagine it being trash. That's just
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
Did he close everything at the end of Spider-Man? Like everything we saw in the sky when it was about to explode. Did everything close when it ended, or?
Yeah, I'm under that assumption, but I've only seen it one time in the theaters. That's it.
Yeah, it's same here. I think he did.
Pat, do you know?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looked like he succeeded, but there's always the back door where you can something might have happened. Like even with the stinger, with the little bit with Eddie Brock at the end. Obviously, it didn't work 100%.
Yeah,
that's true.
Some of Eddie Brock remained.
Right.
Yep.
I think it's just mainly the point of him actually messing around. I think that part of it might come back to haunt him in the Doctor Strange movie. He's tampering where he shouldn't be tampering, and he's arrogant being Doctor Strange, and everything's going to go bad.
Yeah. So I mentioned the What If Doctor Strange episode, which that's obviously what if, it's not, canon or whatever, but that Doctor Strange we're getting there looks like the Doctor Strange from the What If episode, right? I mean, that's like identical.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
So it seems like they're going to pull in that What If as kind of as a multiverse, that's going to come into. I mean, that's what, when you get to the multiverses and time jumping and everything, it's like, there's no rules. It's just no holds barred. Everything can just be whatever, whenever, however they want it. And it's just because, boom, and, people will complain. That was a what if episode. It didn't actually happen. It's a what if. They're like, yeah, but no, maybe it did happen in this multiverse, and here we are. And then you got Loki with Kang, and he was the good Kang, but there's like so many Kangs from all the multiverses. Now he's gonna, all this, so. But I enjoy it, and that's why I like to say that when I'm critiquing a movie, I don't like to have to disclaim myself that I enjoy it, because I enjoy all this. I'm, as I've said in other episodes too, I'm a liker. I like to enjoy everything. So as long as you give me a one-liner excuse to enjoy it, I'll grab it and run with it,
Right.
It makes me think of, I'm not even going to try to remember right now. It'll take me 5 minutes, but there's a movie where they reference, as long as there's exactly what I just joked, one line in it that says, "Oh, you can't smoke in space in a spaceship because it'll blow the ship up." And it's like, "Oh, thanks to the hoobly gobbly, we can do it." As long as there's one liner in the movie that'll explain it,
it justifies it.
Right,
It
exactly.
explains it.
So yeah, I'm excited. Anybody got off the top of their head when the Doctor Strange literally drops?
no idea.
May 6th.
May 6th. I'm excited about that. And Batman's in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I just watched the trailer for that again last night.
That's sick.
Yeah, so I've seen that trailer 10 times. I just now watched Doctor Strange for the first time. Priorities,
Yeah. Are you super excited for Batman, Ty?
I'm still indifferent about it.
What?
Just the actor choice.
Oh, come on.
What's that movie we loved him in with going back and forth?
I don't remember.
Huh?
I don't remember.
Oh.
He I don't know. It's because he's not. I don't feel he's masculine enough to play Batman, and he seems fine in the costume. But in the previews when he talks when he's in the costume, it looks weird to me. I don't know if it's
young
just
Batman,
facial gestures or what, but
yeah, he's young Batman. You realize that, right?
I mean, you're not there yet, but when I look at pictures of us from our 20s, you know, we didn't look like just men. Now
Yeah.
we're 50.
So it's about
We're all
young
grizzled
Batman.
and-
Maybe that makes it a little bit better for me.
What's
What?
that?
If it's about young Batman, then maybe that makes it a little better for me.
Yeah, it is. So there you go. You love
And
it.
and in the back of my head, I'm slightly bothered about there being just so many Batmans constantly. Like, do something else.
Have you seen Tenet, Tyler? Have you seen Tenet yet?
No.
Jesse's claiming you watched it with us.
Tenant?
Yeah.
What's it about?
Oh my God, it's complicated. I don't even know if I can describe it. It's kind of like Inception. If you remember that, do you remember
It
Inception?
sounds familiar.
Where they've got an ability where they can make things in current time go backwards in time while it's going forward in time. That one.
What?
Yeah, exactly. It's the most complicated movie.
Oh. Yeah, where they're like fighting themselves while they're rewinding and
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He didn't sell himself to you. You know, Batman,
Well, I like that actor.
Twilight, vampire
I like that
guy
actor.
didn't sell him.
I like the actor.
Oh, then why are you saying you don't like him as the choice then? Just because the way he looks?
Yeah, just him as Batman. It just doesn't look
Oh,
like a fit to me.
The same reason that Tom Cruise doesn't work as Jack Reacher, I guess.
okay. All right.
I did watch the Reacher movies. I just realized that you were talking about Jack Reacher, and I did like those movies.
Yeah.
So.
Did you see Tenet, Pat? Is there a delay?
Is there a 15-second
Or
delay?
he's messing with us.
Did not.
You just heard the question.
I think there's a delay from me to you also, Pat. Here's what I want to do, Pat. Patrick, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say, Batman and Robin is awesome. As soon as you hear me say,
I don't know.
Batman-
It's kind of glitchy on my end. You guys freeze up every once in a while.
just our visuals or our audio as well?
He's going to give you a direction about Batman and Robin and then get a trail.
Hey, Dad, you remember that flip phone you had with the clicker that opened it?
Yeah, that's what this is
Did
like.
you give him that to
Everything
stream
seems a little. Well, everybody knows I hate Batman and Robin.
with?
Okay.
You guys didn't comment about what I said about too many Batmans, though.
Well, that's.
I was actually doing something. D agrees with your point. She sees him as a vampire. Well, he is Batman. I mean, it kind of fits. What were you saying with too many Batmans though? I missed that part. I was doing something else.
I'm just like not ready for it. I'm kind of like over Batman at the moment. There's so many, and they just keep coming out with them. I know it's always been a thing, but since I've seen a few releases already in my lifetime, I'm kind of annoyed with it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I wasn't immediately excited when I saw the new Batman trailer. I was kind of like, oh my God.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
doing
Patrick
that with
checked
the
out.
comics.
To try to tweak his
Yeah.
stuff. But anyway, go ahead.
They're doing that with the titles. 70% of the books coming out from DC are Batman related, either Bat
Mhm.
Family or Batman. It's saturation and
Yeah.
I love Batman, and I only get 2 main Batman titles and Nightwing. So it's just too much.
Right.
Yeah, why don't we get some Nightwing? Because everybody hates Robin.
Well, we've got Nightwing now. I mean, he's in, that other horrible show,
Where's he at?
Titans.
He becomes Nightwing in that terrible show?
He's Nightwing from the first episode.
Oh, I thought it was just Robin.
No, he's Nightwing.
I haven't watched the show, but I would love a good Nightwing movie.
The only time I've watched Nightwing was when Robin went to the future for a minute in the cartoon.
Yeah, that was great. I love that episode. of the original Teen Titans.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Titans, it actually makes me it made me angry the first trailer I ever saw that, because the last quote from that trailer is Nightwing saying F Batman. So I got all kinds of issues with that, so
Yeah.
I don't know
Right.
enough
We'll
about
talk
all of it
I'll be
for
back.
that to make me angry.
Huh?
I don't know enough about all that backstory for him saying F Batman to make me upset.
Okay, that's good. All right, so moving right along. I did want to cover your trivia question last week. Mike, I meant to tell you that Tom, another member for the listeners of the Exceller group, that I also invited him to be on here with us. He said he's listening now and he was enjoying it. All right, Johnny is making an appearance and correcting me. Of course, that's how this works.
That's what Johnny does. He's
He
your
was Robin at first. I thought he was Nightwing at first. So yeah. Anyway, sorry about it. My bad. Thank you for the correction, John. So now get on it. Now you can watch and become Nightwing. But anyway,
I won't ever watch it.
so again, Tom, who's Johnny's brother, is also in our group. He said he's listening now, which that made me happy to begin with. And then he made some comments about the content, which was awesome. But then he also commented on your trivia from last week, Mike, about how we talked about, I think Patrick brought it up, that we talked about that trivia question in the group prior. And so I wanted to bring that up because we might get trivia Tom guest starring on here, which would be awesome at some point. But anyway, what's the answer to the trivia? What do you want to recap what the trivia was last week first, Mike?
Yeah, we were talking about Mouse and Art Spiegelman, and he had also created the answer to the trivia, Garbage Pail Kids in the 80s. And it's funny to see, he wrote this Pulitzer Prize winning graphic novel that's well respected, and then he also created the Garbage Pail Kids, which came under a lot of fire, and
which is garbage.
Well, it's well respected from me and probably some others because they're hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I meant literally. It's literally garbage. Yeah. Right. Not that it's not good, but
Yeah. So he created those. I think it's kind of funny, and yeah, I completely forgot that Tom had used that as a trivia question in our group, but Patrick reminded me, and Tom reached out to me and thanked me for bringing up his trivia question. But honestly, I had forgotten. Sorry, Tom. I forget all those questions. I probably forget the correct answers on a lot of them.
Oh my gosh. I spent a few days trying to print them out to have like a scrapbook for us in the future. That's still a project I'd like to actually get around to.
There are hundreds.
Yeah, we went. Patrick, are you back to on time with us? Can you hear me speaking to you specifically right this second?
No.
That was Tyler. Patrick's actually frozen. I don't know if he's there. He's like Weekend at Bernie's right now. He's just sitting.
They moved a little bit.
You know what? I'm not even joking, Patrick, when I say this. You'll have to tell me if it has anything to do with your laptop. I've got an extra laptop right now that I'm not using. It's I'm more.
You got an extra laptop?
Yeah, I think he's working on
an extra laptop.
Oh, he's gone. It's like, you know what? Forget this.
Yeah.
I think Patrick said he's working on. He knows he has computer issues there. He's working on it.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, yeah, Art Spiegelman created the Garbage Pail Kids.
Don't do that, Ty. That's just nothing but annoying. I'm already getting private chat messages from all of our viewers saying, don't ever do that again.
Okay.
I may have sent a couple of them.
Why are the Garbage Pail Kids cool at all? Why does anybody like them?
They're funny.
It looks so dumb.
Yeah, I hate them too. I've got no love for them. I shouldn't say I hate them. I just got no love for them. I don't care. They maybe a couple of them made me snicker for a half a second, but
I just don't see any appeal. They're
Not
mostly
now, but
gross.
even back then, when you were
Yeah.
like 12 years old, you didn't look at them and go, "That's funny."
I never thought they were clever. No.
You didn't think they were.
You say 12 years old. What year? That's not right. What year did Garbage Pail Kids come out?
I was just throwing out a number, but let me look them up.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm calling you out.
You're not calling me out. You're just inquiring.
Yeah. That's why I'm fact checking you. Yeah, right. Yeah.
85.
1985. Thanks, Tyler. Walking
Yeah.
over
So
here.
see, I was 15. I was mature. I was a man. I'd come in my own. I
It
didn't
depends
know-
on what time. If they came out in January, you were 14.
That's true.
So way less mature in January than you were by, July or June.
No, I was immature up until I was 25. I'm not trying to fake that, folk.
That was an accident.
I was just kidding, Ty. Do you?
I forgot.
That's okay.
Seriously, Leaky Lindsay, and she's got snot coming out of her nose. That's funny.
Not really.
Do you like Garbage Pail Kids? Maddie doesn't even know what Garbage Pail Kids are.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Jesse said she used to collect them, though. So anyway, yeah, Garbage Pail Kids was the answer to the trivia question that Art Spiegelman also created, besides for the Pulitzer Prize winning mouse. Which, just update on that, I'm just about finished. I'm more than 3/4 of the way through, so.
Awesome.
And the only thing I have to say about it, I mean, we obviously talked about it being good, but man, the writing's just, and I wish all comic books were written the exact same. I mean, it's like the writing is so good, Anyway, so now talking about comic books, I wanted to do another regular thing. Let me see if I got it here. Oh, yeah, hold on. Hold on. I'm already prepared for this. I'm doing something completely different real quick.
Well, I'm not pulling a Wayne's World or anything. They're not a sponsor, but I do love Dr. Pepper.
That's funny you say that because I was going to talk about what I was going to call a sponsor or whatever, but I don't know as far as legally if we can do it or whatever. But CLZ apps, I love CLZ so much. I would love to talk about and advertise and promote CLZ every time we talk.
I think you can. They just don't pay us for it. And
Right.
Look, they're not a
Everybody
sponsor,
loves free advertising.
but we do.
Right.
We
Right,
all
but
love the
that's
app.
what I mean. As far as could I call them a sponsor? Like we're
No.
sponsored by CLZ without them being involved.
No, I think that would get us in trouble. But we can say they are not a sponsor, but we do love the app.
Yeah.
Because someone might hate us and then not use CLZ because you said they're a sponsor.
And they'll say, "Hey, we don't sponsor you
Or yeah,
We're
that's true.
sued.
Yeah.
yet."
Okay, so the new thing I wanted to add this week and every week, or we talked about we wanted to add, was the top 3 comic book covers coming out this week. And the way we comprised this was Mike picked kind of in his opinion, which I think we're all pretty on. I mean, there's only like maybe 1 or 2 covers which we point out constantly that we disagree on, but for the most part, we enjoy the same art. So we just kind of left it to Mike to pick the top 10 favorite covers of comic books coming out this coming Wednesday. And then we kind of circulated that around the Exceller family from not only the people in the group themselves, but then their immediate family and pretty much anyone else they wanted to include to get as big a numbers as we could get to come up with a top 3 comic book covers coming out this week. So why don't you go ahead and take that, Mike?
Yeah, and when I pick these covers, I try to keep everyone in mind. Thinking, okay, I think Johnny and Tom have very similar likes, and so I'm thinking of everybody when I'm looking at these. And then it's great because we extended it to our families, so we get the kids' votes, we get the girls' votes, and the guys' votes. So it's well rounded.
Yeah.
So this week, the number 3 cover is Action Comics number 1040, and this is the B cover. It's by Julian Tedesco or Julian. I always call him Julian Tedesco. And this is one I threw up, and I knew that Tom and Johnny were gonna love it because it's kind of a throwback to the comical covers, the silly covers that DC used to do. And Tedesco is an amazing artist. I really love his style. And this one just cracks me up with everybody arm wrestling Superman. So this
you should shift to the left slightly, Mike. Or the right.
Yeah. Okay. I was looking at the cover. I wasn't even looking at my screen. So this is the number 3.
What?
Tyler? Don't be a smart Alice. All right. So what do you guys think of this? You guys like this cover?
I did not
remember who voted.
I did not vote for this cover.
Hey, let's see if Patrick can go first this time. Patrick, you got chiming in on this cover?
Yeah, I like that cover.
Are you a fan of Tedesco as well?
Yeah, he's pretty. I like him a lot.
I figured you would.
So you said you did vote for it? You did vote for this
Yes.
cover? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I voted for this one as well. Okay.
Yeah, I did not vote for this cover, and I like it.
Any Karen's here.
I guess my biggest complaint, and that's not really a complaint, but the big reason I didn't pick it is because
You didn't text that they were ready to go.
what?
Any Karen's yelling at you.
You better mute your mic so she's right. I didn't text her that we were ready to go, though. Sorry about it. Anyway, back to the show. The Superman. I don't care for the way that Superman looks. So, in particular, so that's why I didn't vote for it. Why didn't you vote for it, Ty? You like it, but just didn't make the cut, or what?
No, I didn't like it. Not really. Not many aspects of it that I do like at all.
Oh, too bad you're wrong.
Sort of goofy. Superman looks weird. I don't like Stretch Armstrong's neck.
Wow.
Right there.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
His
It's
neck
not bad.
always looks like that.
It's not bad. It just definitely wasn't in my top 9.
Right. Well, there were. I threw a bonus one in because I miscounted.
Did you get my joke?
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
I said this one's definitely not in my. We got 10 covers, right?
11.
Oh, yeah, didn't make my top 10 favorite covers of the group.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotcha.
All right, we're moving on.
Maybe we should do that. And I'm going to take a poll between the 4 of us right now. And since Cora is a special guest right now, maybe we can be a poll between the 5 of us. And actually Jesse's here, so maybe 6 of us. Maybe we should rotate who picks the top 10. And I'm not saying this because I'm being critical of yours, Mike. I literally love your top 10 choices. That was great. That's part of the problem. They were all great.
That's what I did that on purpose.
Yeah. You're awesome and stuff like that. But anyway, who thinks maybe put your hand up if you think we should maybe rotate it.
Everybody takes a turn doing it.
Oh.
All right, so it's 4 against 2. We lose, Cora. It's not rotated. Your dad gets the job every week, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, go ahead.
Are you putting your hand up that it should be rotated? So now
That's
it's
what it
3-3.
looks like.
Dadgummit.
Anyway, I also had an idea to come up with our least favorite cover at one point. I'll just throw out trash covers and we'll.
Oh, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. Yeah.
We can. Yeah, we can roast them.
I can think of a few that I'd like to have on there.
All right.
Anyway. All right.
Move on.
That's number 3. Yep.
Okay. At number 2 is Catwoman number 40. And this is the B cover. and this is by Jenny Frisian. I don't know if she has ever done a bad cover. Everything she does is so good, and she's got that very distinct style as well.
It looks very nice.
Yeah, I did not vote for this one.
I did
As
not
much
vote
as
for
I
this
love Jenny Frisian covers.
Ty, did you vote for it?
I did not.
Pat?
Yeah, so far this has been my exact top 3. This was my second choice.
Yeah, let's relabel this. Pat's top 3.
He voted. He made a bunch of burner accounts. He voted for these.
Yeah.
It's
I did
funny
not.
though, because I don't think I have a single cover that she's done, although I like her work quite a bit. She just hasn't been on any books that I pick up or anything that's enticed me enough to actually plop down the cash and buy it just for a cover alone.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't vote for this either, and that's it's kind of on the same line as you. I mean, I can appreciate how great this cover is, but I'm not a Catwoman fan, so I'm not gonna, it's not gonna be in my top 3. And yeah, I don't pick up the only Catwoman covers I've ever picked up that I couldn't resist just because of the cover is Art Germ, So,
Yeah. Yeah, the first few he did.
they're ridiculous. Yeah. And this is probably one of my least preferred Catwoman outfits too. This look, in general too, so.
Why? Just because it's purple?
No, I don't know. I can't exactly describe just my preferences, I guess maybe it's just too kind of plain and, kind of, simple. I don't know, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think my favorite is when Jim Balent was doing that Catwoman in the 90s. I think it's a really popular one, but I was never a fan of it. Patrick wasn't either.
No.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to get, it was the Bad Girl time. It was when all the Bad Girl books were real popular.
Yeah.
They were trying to capitalize on that. So here we go for number 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider number 1. And it's, I hope I don't butcher his name. KL New NGU. I think that's how I would probably NGU.
All right, we got to go to Patrick's head shaking on this first. What's up, Pat?
No, it just blew my top 3 because this wasn't my number 1.
Oh, okay. But you don't just. I got the impression that you despise this cover or something, but you don't.
I don't despise it, but it was funny because Valor voted for this cover, but he made the comment that he thinks he's seen this cover like 55 times, and I totally agree. I swear
this
is a cover I've seen before. It very much looks like the old Mark Texeira era Ghost Rider covers.
It does look like a stereotypical Ghost Rider image.
Yeah. But obviously it won because it's just done so well, though.
Yeah.
I voted for this. Yeah.
I was really surprised. This was my least favorite one when I was picking them all.
Really?
Man, this is for the whole reason that Valor pointed out. Yeah, it's just so seen it a million times. And then I was surprised. I'm counting them up, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" This it just didn't. It handily won.
But if you look at it for what it is, it's sick.
Yeah. I was shocked that the Deathstroke cover didn't get more votes.
Yeah,
I literally
that was my
was
favorite one.
That was gonna win. Yeah, I thought that would win. That's is that a Virgin cover too, right? The Deathstroke?
No, I couldn't find anything with the trade dress.
Oh, okay.
Which is surprising. By the way, all these books come out February 23rd. They come out next in a few days.
So if anyone wants to pick these up, get your orders in, track them down now. Yep. And that's, I wanted to bring this up as to why I thought this would be an extremely, interesting thing to do every week. And just to talk about the topic in general. I mean, how important is a good cover to the sales of a book, right? I mean, it's how many we were just kind of slightly talking about it, Patrick, with just buying a book, even if you have no interest inside, just for the cover. And we've talked in the past about how, writing has changed so much to the poor end of the spectrum, but it's like the covers are still probably, in my opinion, a big reason that the comic book industry is still where it is. It would be worse if it wasn't for all these great covers, because people just buy them because of the covers anyway, So that's why I thought it would be good for everybody to see these great covers, and I don't know, maybe do our part to help the industry. But so I'm going to put these questions out to you specifically. I'll go first, Patrick. In general, how many covers would you say? Let's just go with a month. How many, books do you buy a month that are totally just because of the cover?
I was gonna say not many, but every once in a while, maybe let's say 2 books a month. It's with trying to pare down and things like that. I save the looking for those covers maybe for the dollar bin.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good idea. Yeah, but a lot of times the covers will what cranks up the value of a book too. If you're looking for them in the dollar bin, if it was a great cover, it might not be in the dollar bin. Yeah, right.
That's correct. Yep.
Mike, how many books? And I picked out a number, but
Well, I'm looking.
Tyler,
quickly.
get your cat's butt out of the screen. Anyway, Mike, I threw out a number, but actually, I'm going to go next so I can tell you what my scrambled brain is thinking. I'm just going to go with half. I don't exactly know a number, but I would literally say half of the books I buy are based on the cover. And I'll fess up to, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
the whole reason you buy it is because I like this cover and just buy it.
I would say half of them I buy are a month that are like that.
Yeah, I was just doing you want me to go?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm done. That's all I got.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
While I interrupt you, I think mine was about 5.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to Patrick with this question too. So 5. How many books do you think you buy a month?
Like 40 maybe.
Okay.
Just
That's
a guess.
real low percentage. Yeah. Mike, how many do you buy a month?
I think I'm around. I gotta whisper this. Maybe like 58.
So your percentages are probably the same because you're saying you buy about 5. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if I whisper because my wife's literally sitting here with me.
My wife's best friend is.
I will say I buy about 60 books, and about half. She just said, "Oh my God!" And
I've got my wife's best friend is your wife.
I buy 3 to 5 a month.
Stop bragging, Tyler.
And that's solely dependent on Moon Knight and Venom releases.
Yeah.
How many? Okay. All right. We got a question, actually. Mike, why don't you take that one?
Okay. D is asking if a graphic novel is the same as a comic book. Is it a longer story? Do they have these in libraries? What would you suggest to read for a beginner? Graphic novels are different than comic books. They are longer stories, and that's what makes them a graphic novel. A comic book is traditionally 22 pages, and it's usually an ongoing story. Sometimes they'll have what's called a one shot, but they're 22 pages. Graphic novels are self-contained, larger stories. And then you have things out there called trade paperbacks, which collect the regular 22-page comic books into a larger format that resembles graphic novels. But so there are 3 different types.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, probably most non-comic book people would totally assume a trade is a graphic novel most of the time. Yeah.
Because they look that way, yeah. And it's so funny, and things have changed so much on what the things are called. The Walking Dead, when you watch the TV show, it says based on the graphic novel by Robert Kirkman, Adler and more. So even what the industry is calling them seems to be different.
And actually, I'm gonna call myself out here. It isn't even a newbie thing either, because Patrick corrected me in the last video I shared on in the group that I called the hardcover Avengers book I got. I referred to it like a graphic novel, like it was a new book, like it was an individual book. And Patrick corrected me. It was actually a collection of Avengers Volume 3, 1 through 4. So it was a trade. It was a hardback trade, so. And you know what else is funny too? I don't know why I didn't put that together, because I actually just picked up Batman Ra's al Ghul, which is a hardback reprint. I just got that with my DCBS order. And that's another thing we could say we fully support, I guess. CLZ and DCBS. Those are our big ones, I guess. But I just got the Batman Ra's al Ghul, reprints. Did anyone else get that? Neil Adams, the Neil Adams.
And these, as to finish what Dee was asking about, a lot of libraries do carry these. Yeah. The largest section in the library is probably going to be the manga section right now. It's really the most popular thing, I think, for the younger kids, teenagers. But there is a section of graphic novels and trade paperbacks. They carry both formats.
Yeah.
So as far as something for a new beginner, it would depend on what you like. There are classic superhero books out there, like the Dark Knight Returns, is one of the best ones. But if you're not into superheroes, I'm not sure. Do you guys have any ideas on what?
Well, I was gonna take her question as which would you suggest for beginner? Graphic novel versus trade and everything. Like, definitely graphic novels, because it's your standalone story.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to climb into a story that, even though they'll put an arc together, you still kind of sometimes have to have background, to really get a story, So graphic novels are more standalone, so right. I mean, but you could be right. She's just talking about graphic novels versus a single comic book in general. Yeah.
Yep. So hopefully that answers your question, Dee.
What do you recommend, Pat?
It would really just depend. If you're talking, yeah, it is tough. Yeah, if you're just going to get a trade paperback, it's kind of hard to know where to start.
Yeah.
It depends on what you like.
You're totally breaking up and stalling. And, yeah.
Jump. Find.
Hey, I'm not following Patrick.
Your library.
I'm not following what you're saying.
Bookstore.
Sorry, Pat. You're breaking up like really bad, and you're. I don't know whether you heard me ask the question. If it's a laptop you need, I got one for you. Anyway, so yeah, great question from Dee. Thank you for chiming in. That was a great question. So.
And Dee, if you're looking for a copy of Mouse, I have an extra copy of Volume 1 you can read. So, sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Can I have the extra copy?
No. I Am Legend sitting there for 3 months.
You can only borrow one thing at a time.
Right, there you go.
No, he's got an extra copy. I just wanted it.
Oh.
Permanently.
So that takes us to another. So the next good thing to talk about, especially with Dee's question, is what'd you get this week? Obviously, us being some vets,
Yeah,
it might not apply to the newbies. Although Ty kind of falls closer into the newbie category.
Yeah.
You know? So we get
I'm
a
just
little
a
bit
total
of,
newbie.
huh?
I'm a total newbie, right?
I wouldn't say total. You're kind of getting there.
All right.
He's on the way. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Well,
okay, so we'll start with Ty. What'd you get this week, Ty?
Nothing. There were no Venom nor Moon Knight releases.
he just keeps bragging about how much money he keeps saving.
Yeah.
I get 5
I'm not
toys.
saving any money.
I
All
didn't
the
buy
money I
any
could have
this week.
spent. You don't want to know what I bought this week?
Is that Obi-Wan?
It's Anakin.
I got you. Inside joke.
Hey, Ty, that was fine though. The question is, what'd you get this week?
Yeah.
Not what comic did you get this week?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's.
I also got this.
Nice.
Commander Cody.
Who's that, Mike? Who's Commander Cody?
Yeah, I haven't watched that episode yet. So, Ty, is that
What?
that Qui-Gon?
Have you seen episode 3
Yeah, I don't remember.
N2.
and 2? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names. Like Kevin, I watch things to enjoy them. Some things just, I've got some people have like a steel trap up here. Mine's more like a sieve. Okay. So
Okay.
Look, my equivalent purchase is that Qui-Gon figure was probably
60 comic books.
12 new $5 comics.
are you getting all the
you
Black Series?
you didn't leave that to any imagination whatsoever. You just did the math out loud. He's like 12 new $5. We didn't even have to think if it was Spawn for $2.99 or a new DC B cover for $5.99.
But is that the Black Series figure?
Yeah. Or $60 bin comics.
Hey Ty, did you show the guys question from Annie Karen? Did you show us what you got for Valentine's Day?
No, I didn't. Here you go. My whole life is under this desk, so that's why I have everything readily available.
Gotcha.
You're like Carrot Top. You got like your prop comic. Oh, they're here.
An art short box. Gotcha.
Oh, what is that? Okay.
It's a Venom comic book box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I love those things. They're so nice.
You
Yeah,
got
it's
that, Annie
just-
Karen.
Huh?
Annie Karen got you that?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd Maddie get you? She's on the spot right now.
You don't remember?
Oh,
Hold on. I remember.
Oh my God, this is bad. This is awesome. Reality TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of Black Rifle coffee paraphernalia.
oh, there you go.
I got a hoodie.
Oh, from under your desk. Very nice.
She just threw it to me from my bed.
I was like, let me get this.
And then-
Hey.
A Black Rifle coffee mug that's at her apartment,
Nice.
Gotcha.
and another T-shirt.
All right. Guess you'll be fighting after this episode. Cool. Yeah.
My gift was decent enough to make her not mad at me for one pass.
All right, Mike, what'd you get this week?
Well, this kind of goes back to what Dee's question was. I got the trade paperback for Something is Killing the Children, 1 through 6. And I picked this up. It was an impulse buy. I found it for like $6. And I bought this so I can read the story. I have the individual comics. And I read issue 1. And then the price got out of hand. So I won't read my singles because even the reprints are worth too much to read. So I bought this so I can read it, and then I'll just get the following ones. I think they're up to 3 or 4 now.
Nice.
So with that first issue, I never thought I would see an independent book, a modern independent book, hit Walking Dead #1 numbers, and this one is doing just that.
Is that right? I didn't even know that. It's hitting those kind of
Yeah.
numbers? Wow.
I think 9.8s are probably 1,200, 1,300.
Wow.
And it's ridiculous. And I would have had 2 copies, but I had 2 copies in my hand, and I was like, wait a minute, I was going to get one for Kevin. I'm like, oh, he doesn't read horror comics. So I put it back.
You're right. You're
And I
right.
just bought one. Gun. If you only read horror comics,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say, hey, let me sell that. Anyway, so that's what I got this week.
Is that? Did you make it to Flashback, our local comic store? Did you make it there for your regular week pull up?
I did.
Pick up as well.
Yes, I did. Just standard books, and they're still in a bag because yesterday you shared a video of a bunch of books that you. I'm sure you may talk about those, but they're all bagged and boarded, and I was like, look at them showing off with bags and boards, and I've got a month's worth of books in bags, like gross shopping bags from the store. So I'm behind on bag and boarding.
Gotcha. So yeah, Patrick, what'd you get? Give this another shot. Hopefully,
just comic related. My monthly shipment from DCBS.
Okay. So yeah, I got that too. My shipment from DCBS. I also made it to Flashback, our local comic store, to pick up my monthly books, and then I also made it to flea market yesterday, and it was epically awesome. Everybody,
it's pretty sick for me too.
Yeah, I got something for a lot of different people. I got Star Wars toys, Hot Wheels, Batman toys. I got a Spider-Gwen, metal fig, and then I got a great lot of books for $30. Well, I think it's pretty great. You know, it was a lot of fun to look through it all and like Mike said, get it all prettied up, bagged and boarded and everything. And I'm hoping that we get all of those listed, at least the ones that Mike decides are worthy. Get them listed on our Exceller eBay page this week as well. I think the coolest one, but it's in so bad a shape that it'll just be one I keep forever. I got Flash. I think it was 166, maybe.
Yeah, I don't recall what issue it was. It was very cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. And then I got a bunch of Incredible Hulk, that kind of went back and forth. Not back and forth, obviously, but just we're did right around 181, 180.
Yeah.
Got 187, 166. I even got like 112, I think. Yeah. So it was a great little pickup. This guy had, it was so funny. This guy had a flea market shop that was like, I would say 30% baseball cards and football cards and stuff. And then it had a bunch of other random, furniture, clothes, your typical flea market spot, but no sign of any comics. But Jessie was looking at this chair that he had as well, because she's looking to kind of redecorate. And while she's talking to him and kind of going back and forth as to how much she wanted to pay for everything, I'm just standing there. And then while she took a moment to kind of think of it, I just figured I'd, give a little, hey, you got any comic books to the guy? And sure enough, he moved a bunch of coats out from underneath the table and pulled out this bin that was just full of comics. And with that, it's like, I know you can relate, Mike. I'm sure Patrick can too, that, use something like that. It's just like, oh, this is awesome, because it was under a bunch of coats under a table. No one's looked through this.
Yeah, it's a treasure chest. You just don't know what's in there.
Yeah, it was so awesome.
The best.
And I just pulled up like 2 or 3, and especially I think I saw the old Justice League of America that's in there too, and then the couple Incredible Hulks. I was like, okay, how much do you want for the box? You know, and then he's like, oh, I'll take 50. And I was just like, not having looked through it. And actually, the Incredible Hulk, and of course, it wasn't. I saw the Flash too. I saw how banged up the Flash was. I was like, I'm not paying $50 for a bunch of books that, I'm only going to want to ever keep because they're in such bad shape. So I said, it's kind of cheap. I mean, that's kind of steep. They're kind of banged up. And he was like, okay, what do you say, 35? And I was like, I don't know. How about 30? And he's like, but you get the bin. It was like one of the Tupperware, not Tupperware, but like storage plastic bins,
Yeah.
And I was like, how about you keep the bin and I'll take them for 30? And he's like, all right, deal. So I was like, sweet.
Yeah, I'm not shopping for bins. I'm shopping for comics.
Right. And it's $120. And it had 3 hardcovers in it. And a couple magazines as well. And it was a great deal. I loved it. Had a lot of fun going through it yesterday, getting them all cleaned up and bagged and boarded and showing you guys. We were talking about how that's going to be hopefully a normal thing for us. Jessie had a great time. She picked up a couple great deals. And then I got a couple newspaper comics books, hardcover book collections as well. So it was a great day. It was a great week for me.
Yeah.
And then going through all my DCBS, that was great as well. So I think me and Patrick are in the same situation where we got like 2 months at once.
Shipping schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, my next batch, it looks like it's around 10 books. It's really small.
Yeah. Yeah. So then kind of moving on to, I kind of listed this as just the top 3 new books of the week, but I should list this as top 3 new books of the weeks that you read. So now let's get into the weeds with reading. Yeah. It's obviously the goal here of all of us, I'm sure, but I'm sure all of us can relate to how much of that actually gets done. Maybe Ty more than others. How many did you read this week, Ty? Big 0?
Well, none came out. He didn't buy any.
Yeah, he didn't buy one.
Right up.
I was going to follow up the question with how many of the ones you got from before when you did get a couple did you read?
Same amount.
Here's the biggest reason you need to read them, Ty, because you could hate them. You never know.
I know.
Unless you want to be like, I'm just buying them for the covers. You could be that, obviously. We talked about that.
I'm just buying them for the covers. They're all cool.
Okay. You've literally read none of them?
I read half of Moon Knight 1.
It's literally a 15-minute read. Come on now.
I know.
You can only handle 7.5 minutes?
Apparently. That's my attention span. And I only retained the first 2 minutes of reading it.
All right, Mike, what'd you get read this week?
I read 2 issues. I'll read more for next week now that I know we have a segment. But
Okay.
I read issue 1 and 2 of The Rush, and this is really awesome. I would have read issue number 3. I just didn't have it yet. And so this is basically, it's set in 1899 in the Yukon Territory.
Okay.
Let me move over here. During the gold rush. And there's a haunted forest with, as you can see on this cover here, it's funny. It's like a giant Spider Man, but not Peter Parker Spider-Man. He's like a half spider, half man. So he's got the legs and body of a spider, but the upper torso of a man. Is really creepy.
Okay.
And there's this section, basically, real quickly, the main character is this woman, and her husband and son are off prospecting for gold. And then her husband comes back to town without her son, and he's a drunk and a loser and stuff. So she kicks him to the curb, and she goes looking for her son, and he's out beyond this haunted forest in this area where they're mining for gold, and he has a claim out there. But that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil anything about what happens on the way there and when she gets there. But it's fantastic. I am a sucker for horror books and Western books, Western themed, and this is great. I just love it. And Cy Spurrier is the writer, and he's got an upcoming book called Step by Bloody Step, which should be pretty interesting. I think it's a mini series. I'm kind of diverting here, and there's no dialogue at all because the two main characters are a giant robot, and a mute child. So there's no dialogue in the book, that's
Interesting.
pretty interesting. I either sold more copies or people are bailing. Like, what? No words. I'm gonna read this. A bunch of pictures. So anyway, The Rush is really awesome. I'm excited about finishing.
That sounds pretty awesome. Obviously, I don't like horror books, but that sounds like something I would like, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's heavy on Western, the Yukon and the Gold Rush, light on the horror.
It's kind of like that movie you recommended with what's that? The Werewolf of whatever. What's that one movie?
Oh, Snow Hollow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it the Werewolf of Snow Hollow? Isn't that what it's called, or the Wolf of Snow Hollow?
Wolf of Snow Hollow. Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where it's
Speaking of-
very, very light horror, but
Speaking of werewolves, Werewolves Within. I just watched that the other night instead of Boba Fett. Hilarious. It's hilarious. I love it.
What's it on?
Showtime.
Werewolves Within.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very funny.
All right. What else you read?
That's it. Issue 1 and 2 of those.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have,
some, I want. What?
I have a huge stack of that I try to get to, and as we all do. And but next week I'll make sure that I've got a few more.
Good.
Few more things.
I'm looking to accomplish 2 or 3 things with this, topic every week. One, obviously, to help people that, are interested in knowing what it is before they buy it. They don't just want to buy it based on a cover, obviously.
Mhm.
And then secondly, to prove to my wife that I actually read comic books, because she never sees me read them. And she's like, she doesn't think, she always complaining about, you have hundreds of comic books and you never read it. And I'm like, I read them every week. Obviously I don't get remotely close to what I'd like to read every week, but I always get a couple read a week, so.
Yeah. This will kind of, what's the word? Motivate us to read.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we're already motivated to read them. It's just we don't prioritize them. Now we're prioritize them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick, are you listening and we can hear you and we just can't see you anymore? What's your status?
Can you hear me? I turned my camera
can hear
off
you.
to maybe help things.
Yeah,
there we go.
we can
Good.
hear you good now. Yeah, okay, good. So what'd you read this week, Pat?
I think the only books I read this week were Hellboy Silver Lantern Club, first 2 issues of that, which is sort of Hellboy and his adopted father, Professor Broom. They're in the silver, or they're in a pub in England, I believe, and they're listening to Professor Broom's uncle tell stories. He was in this Silver Lantern Club of occult investigators, and it's basically him telling the stories while Hellboy listens. It's an okay book. It's not my favorite. And also I read Impossible Jones 1 and 2 by Scout Comics. Sort of a lighthearted superhero book, and again, it was just okay. I think it wasn't my favorite. I like the artwork a lot, but just so.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so much Hellboy, so many Hellboy stories out there. I guess some of them are going to be hit or miss. It's a world.
Right.
I was late to the show on it, and
Yeah.
now I look at it and go, "Wow, there's just so much."
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming to where I don't even dive in.
I picked up the Silver Lantern Clubs as well, so I'm looking forward to reading those. And you saying, even though you're saying it's not that great, you talking about it, yeah, the way that plays out, that's really similar to Mouse too. That's kind of how Mouse is. So which I'm enjoying a lot. So I think I'm gonna prioritize getting the Silver Lantern Club read as well.
Yeah, be curious to see what you think.
Yeah, I read something that Tyler would love. Tyler, I recommend picking these up. And thankfully I was able to pick them up because of my good friend Mike throwing them in my subscription box at the LCS. Crimson Reign, new Star Wars title, and I read issues 1 and 2, and basically it's Kira from Crimson Dawn. Obviously you're familiar with her, Ty. Anybody, probably most people, even if they aren't comic book people, are familiar with her from Han Solo's, or the Solo story. She was Han Solo's girlfriend, and now she's working for Crimson Dawn. And then it actually references the movie in the comic book. I guess this isn't a spoiler. We're past the time frame, but she kills the leader of Crimson Dawn at the end. And so now she's the leader of Crimson Dawn in the comic book. And it's a whole story about how her in particular, she's using Crimson Dawn to work with all the other factions of bad guys in the universe to take down the Emperor, which obviously involves Darth Vader as well. And it's really good. The first two issues are really good, Ty. I really think you'd like them a lot. You need to pick them up and read them. And anybody else who's into Star Wars, I think would enjoy it. It's done really well. There's a couple really cool things. I don't want to give up too much that I thought were excellent about it. And then I also read Scorched, the new Spawn title. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys are familiar exactly what that title is. I honestly wasn't. I hadn't been completely up on it, but Todd puts it out. I'm and it's Spawn. I'm buying it. Period. Right. I didn't have too many details, but it's really cool. It's all the different Spawns getting together to work for Spawn in a mission that isn't quite clear yet. As far as I only had read issue 1. The entire mission isn't quite clear yet, but Spawn's in charge of all the other Spawns. It's got Gunslinger Spawn, She Spawn, Medieval Spawn, and the Redeemer kind of team up to go on this mission for Spawn. Like I said, we don't know what it is, but I really enjoyed it a lot. It was actually the 4th book I read because, and I kind of crammed this in last night for today's episode to make sure I had the content. And I wasn't even planning on reading it, but I just started looking through it because it's a beautiful book, obviously. Not obviously, to me, at least I should say. And just in looking through it, reading a little bit, just sucked me in. I read the whole thing, and it's a double size, I think, book too.
I think issue 1 was, yeah.
So it just pulled me in, and I read the whole thing unintentionally. And you got to love when that kind of thing happens. I told Jesse afterwards, I was like, it's kind of like reminds me of working out. It's like when you're working out, it's good for you. Afterwards, you feel so accomplished and you're happy. But it's just getting it done. And right. I thought about that with sports. I was like, I just need to get it done every week. Like you said, Mike, prioritize it because it's such an enjoyable experience every time,
Yeah, so, exactly.
The original book that I read to get my 3 in was the Stormbreakers, X Lives, X Deaths of Wolverine, which is pretty interesting too. But I didn't realize until I started reading it that I was reading book 2. I thought I had one, but and of course it explained a snippet of 1 in it. And the story's interesting. And then it's kind of this multi-story that's happened simultaneously between the life and the death of Wolverine, but they kind of happen at the same time in the same story differently. It's unique, but again, it's Wolverine, one of my top 3. So I loved it mostly because of him. But the art was cool and the story is interesting. So I definitely, recommend picking that one up as well,
Yeah. I was getting the regular Wolverine book, but I passed on those. It's just so much.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So much.
So okay. So that's what we actually picked up and read this week, and I think you had something you wanted, or Mark wanted to talk about. Is he around? Is he ready to talk about that or what?
Once again, he is not around. He was at the start of the show, but an hour.
We took too long. Yeah.
Yeah, he is outside with the boys, and they're playing some kind of battle in the front yard. They've got helmets and guns, and
he's having the real fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing what 9-year-olds are supposed to do.
Yeah. Did you want to mention that at all, or you just want to wait till next week when he's around?
We can wait until next week. I'll just kind of throw up what he's going to throw up. I'll toss up what he's going to show you. It's his favorite comic book miniseries. This is the B cover, or the variant cover that he has. It's the giant size Little Marvel A versus X. Is it X versus A? I can't remember.
It's Avengers versus X-Men, right?
Yeah. It's giant size Little Marvel. A versus X. Yeah. And it's written and drawn.
Is that current now?
No.
Okay.
This is written and drawn by Scotty Young. And it's his favorite. So I'll leave it there and
when did this come out?
Let me look it up. I think it was 2014. I think.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Yeah, I found issues 2, 3, and 4 in the quarter bin. So I bought them, and then I ended up going to Troy at Flashback to find issue 1, and all he had was that variant.
Well, I'm going to definitely give a thanks to Mark over this because I enjoy Little Gotham. Just kind of in line with that, you think?
I think this might be sillier.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, this is really silly and over the top. Scotty Young's pretty funny. He's got a lot more humor than the Little Gotham stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's definitely something I'd like to take a look at. Yeah.
Yeah, this is out in trade. Let me see. So, anyway, that's what Marcos will talk about that next week. Maybe we'll get to that at the beginning of the show before he goes outside to play.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We could prioritize it at the at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
All right, I wanted to ask Patrick, and you know what? I think I thought I put it in my. Takes a lot of work. I thought I put it in my banners here. But I wanted to ask Patrick and talk about the generic, copyrighted version or trademarked or whatever version of, what you typically see as a branding of Marvel superheroes kind of on everything. Like you see that generic Spider-Man picture that's kind of on everything. Captain America, it's on everything. I got these for Valentine's Day. I got these Marvel cake bites that had a generic picture of Captain America on there, and it reminded me of this conversation I talked to Patrick about once a while ago. I can't remember. You got that picture, Mom? So I'll give you an idea what I'm talking about. I'm sure you might know what I'm talking about already, but this is the kind of generic Spider-Man you see kind of as the trademark Spider-Man on kind of everything, T-shirts, toys, boxes, obviously these snack cakes. And, I asked who the artist of this was because especially the Captain America, I can't remember exactly what I saw at the time. I was like, who is this? I love this cap. Who is this? And the genius of all of us that's got all that information, as far as I'm concerned.
Thanks. I saw Ty. I was like, oh, what's Tyler? Oh, there we go.
So Patrick, how can you educate us on these at all with these generic, trademarked pictures that they brand everything with? You know.
Yeah, I think a lot of times they just, especially in more recent years, they've gone to one guy to do all their merchandising, their commercial work. And you're right, you'll see it from anything to napkins, paper plates, balloons, little rack toys, impulse buys at the checkout. They all have that same art. And I especially remember that the Avengers Captain America art you're talking about. I'm not sure, I think I mentioned that Dale Keown, who created Pitt and worked on the Incredible Hulk, he was one of their main guys that was doing that kind of work for Marvel for a time. I'm not sure if he's doing that any longer or if he had anything to do with that Avengers Cap art or not. But that's, that they do that, I think, mainly to just keep everything on model and on brand, so everything is consistent no matter where you see it. But yeah, that's why you see that same looking art over and over again. They want it in that same style. They don't want any variations. And, I think that's just kind of the way, especially I think that's probably even more prevalent since Disney took over, since they're so controlling and constrictive of their characters. They want everything to be on model, on brand.
Okay. And do you have any kind of speculation as far as why this, who did it wouldn't be common knowledge? You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't they,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. And you'll even see, even if, like, here's a for instance, the Marvel Legends line has artwork by John Tyler Christopher. And they don't give him credit anywhere on that. I mean, that's the only reason I know that is from him, talking about it on, his social media. I think, again, you're talking about big companies where sometimes they even, if they're using a piece of the pre-existing art, they'll scrub off signatures, the artist, had on there from the original artwork, which is unfortunate, but, it's one of those things, they paid to have it done originally. It's considered theirs to do with what they want, so they alter it as they see fit, I suppose.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to, every time I see that, know who it, I wish who does all of that was, on the tip of my tongue every time I see it, just like, my favorites of who I know,
Yeah, that even reminds me that I bought that, like a 24 by 36 canvas of the cover of Batman: The Adventures Continue #1 by Dave Johnson, and they scrubbed his signature right off of it.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's DC too, Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
It's
like being intentionally bad. I mean, as far as bad being, good people versus bad people, intentionally, and obviously unapologetically, kind of devious or whatever, it's crazy. But anyway.
Yeah, I can see on the item that Patrick's talking about. Yeah, it's ridiculous, in my opinion, that they would remove his name for that, because that's a reproduction of a piece of artwork that he did.
Yeah,
something like a snack cake or something like you had shared. They may have come into an agreement saying, okay, we're hiring you to do this artwork, but you're not going to get credited on the packaging because it won't look right on there.
Yeah.
If they're with that understanding, then I'm fine with it. But to remove something from artwork that was commissioned for something else, he was paid to use
that's worse. Yeah,
cover, and then they scrub it. That's
seems really bad.
Yeah, and you've got people it seems like you have people in the industry that credit to the artist isn't important, obviously. But without the artist, then you don't get the work. So.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have something that I want to talk about that I'm just going to drop for next time. And did anybody else have anything else they want to talk about today?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Tyler, you good?
Still work.
He's over there on TikTok or something while we're.
No, I'm not.
Tyler doesn't TikTok.
What's TikTok?
They're these little tiny mints. Oh, those are Tic Tacs.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah, not a sponsor. Right there.
Anyway, for a future show, and Patrick, this is mostly a heads up for you, but I don't know whether Johnny will catch this, hopefully, when he listens to us later, if he's still watching now. But I want to talk about the, in particular, artwork and I want to see it, Patrick, the art that you've done in your past, because we've seen snippets, and I was impressed, and I thought it was awesome. And obviously, we've already talked about, Johnny has done the face of Exceller. Everybody loves it. We've seen other stuff that he's got. I want to actually have a segment where we talk about Patrick and Johnny's art. And you know what? Hey, we can actually talk about my art. I think Mike's still got a couple pictures in the archive of, that my famous art from when I was younger as well. We can.
I gave those back to you. No, I haven't.
I don't know. I actually don't know where they are.
Yeah.
That's why you're so great, because you got stuff from the past that I probably tossed, so that's why it's better for you to have it.
Some people call that hoarding. I call it collecting.
Yeah. But anyway, Patrick, I want to talk about and show and see if I guess I should say if you're willing, but
Sure.
I'm saying I'll involve mine to make you more comfortable if need be.
Yeah,
But,
no problem.
But I'd like to see it and talk about your artistic history. I know you don't have a whole ton, but you know how it's going to go. We're gonna talk for an hour about it, even though there's not a whole lot of details to be had, But I want to see some, and I want to show our viewers now some of that art, and really appreciate what you got going on. So anyway, that's for future. I'm gonna get my game in another segment I want to add for the future too. I'm gonna get what I'm going to refer to as a game in a nutshell, where obviously we're talking about comics mostly here, but I figure adding a little couple minute segment for a game in a nutshell for the collectibles aspect of the show every episode would be fun too. So I plan on that next week too. And then last but not least, I want to mention to everybody, and this goes out to Karen if she's listening / watching now, that I said in the last podcast that we were going to be on every Sunday at 1-ish. So you shouldn't be yelling at me that I didn't text you we were going to be on today. But we plan on being on every Sunday at 1-ish. Somebody, and a mix of who those somebodies will be will change, I guess. And then do a crawl through every Thursday at 7-ish. And then possibly, and Mike actually made it happen this last Saturday to have a live episode of, what's your segment called? What to look out for, Mike? Right? Or
On there, it's just upcoming eBay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just an upcoming things we're posting on eBay. But what's your thing you post on Exceller as well? The be on the lookout or whatever?
Be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to highlight some books or something that's kind of flying under the radar that might be interesting, upcoming storylines, stuff like that.
Which everybody agrees you got lots of skills in that arena. So I look forward to it every week as well. So.
And I want to make a quick comment about yesterday's video. I didn't have my sidekick with me, so I was a little bit unprepared, a little bit nervous. I counted on some,
interaction,
and the comic relief to come from the boy. But
right. Yeah, that's always, that always makes it a little bit easier. That's for sure. Yeah.
As well, I was going to say Patrick needs to get me that list of figures he wants to sell me.
I was afraid he'd bring that up.
Yeah, I'd like to actually add that too. I mean, here we are at almost 2 hours, and we're talking about what we want to add. But sometimes I want to have these kind of regular segments, and whatever we don't get to, we don't get to. But I'd like to have a toys.
Yeah.
And I think Patrick would be the lead on that, and maybe even Tyler, since his, big contribution today was toys. So I meant to tell you, Mike, this is kind of way after the fact, but I meant to add this. So Cody, that Tyler got the Clone Trooper toy of, you'll know, and, any Star Wars fan will know Cody from one of my saddest moments from the Star Wars movies was not only Order 66 in general. Hey, Karen, what's up? There's
Hi.
Karen peeking in. But one of my saddest moments, obviously, is Order 66 in general. But to double down on the sadness in there, Cody is the trooper that gets Obi-Wan his lightsaber back and gives it to him right before he then orders him to be blasted off the mountain or the cliffside. Right, Ty?
Yeah.
So it's a double edged, sadness right there. But that's Cody. You remember that, Mike, from
I'm trying to remember.
he literally picks up Obi-Wan's and he's doing him a favor, he's like, here, you might need this, sir. And he's like, well, thanks, Cody. And it was all this good kind of feel good moment. And then like 10 seconds later, he's killing him. It's like, what are you doing?
I'll go pull it up and look at it. Like I said, like a sieve.
Yeah, gotcha. So
He was the first one that we saw the Emperor give him the order.
yeah, him. Yep. Yep. So anyway.
All right. Yep. Toys.
All right. So that'll about do it, right?
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks for
Gonna wrap
tuning
up.
in. Check us out in all those different ways I listed. Sunday 1-ish, Thursday 7-ish, and Saturday mornings for live. And then we'll be listing all this on our podcast network as well. You can listen to it later. And don't forget that reading a great story is fun and appreciating great artwork is awesome. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Stellar out.